So you said it was on the side of your face. So most times when people get like like lumps or abscesses on the side of their face, they relate it to being like having like a toothache, or you know what I mean, like a cavity or something like mouth related. Like you never thought? Did you ever go to a dentist to see if like maybe like you
That
had
was the first appointment.
Oh, so you did go? Okay,
Yeah.
you did. Okay, because I would say like if you bit your cheek, I would think the first thing would be like maybe this is the dentist. Like you normally start at the lower levels first before you go to the hospital.
I think I did. If I remember right, I did urgent care. Urgent care gave me antibiotics.
Right, antibiotics.
Which didn't work. Right,
right.
Which didn't work, and I was like, this. I'm still in a lot of pain.
Right.
Then went to a dentist. The dentist made a couple of calls and shuttled me around to an oral surgeon. The oral surgeon made me get the X-rays, the MRI, all that stuff.
There we go.
And finally they confirmed.
That makes sense.
It took a little bit,
right.
But you're right. Yeah, I did start with like urgent care and a dentist first.
Yeah, I mean, it's some about I first thing I was gonna say, Raman, I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna be like, in the pandemic, you looking for a house. So I was about to give you the horn for that. I could give you the horn for that. First of all, most motherfuckers at home, they don't know if they're gonna have a job the next day.
But
and you like, yeah, let's go get that mansion.
that's the time to do it. You in an apartment, you realize how much you don't like people. You realize I don't need to be around Johnny down the hall. They're disgusting. I don't like it. They don't take out the garbage on time. This is creating COVID.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like that, I just wanted to touch on that. Like that's a hell of a story in itself, right? Because if you listen to most people and they talk about the pandemic, it was survival mode, holding on to whatever you had because you didn't know how long this thing was gonna last. What are you gonna do? What your job is gonna look like? And you guys were out there like, yeah, it's time for the family to get a new residence and all of that. So, I just wanted to say again, that's a testament to your preparation though, because you never know when something's gonna happen. But because you guys were prepared, right, to a certain extent, you were able to say, okay, even though this is happening, we're still gonna make this type of a move. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Listen, when I was in that doctor's office, right, and I asked, what are my options, right? I need to get a hold of myself. What are my options? And I didn't really have a lot of options because at the time they told me it was stage 3. And in about 2.5 weeks, when I ended up going into surgery, it already progressed to stage 4, meaning that it had spread to my neck and it was spreading really fast. Wow. So, I asked what my options are in terms of treatment. Can I put this off for a few months? Can I wait till next year? And there's no option there. It was, no, you need to get this done immediately because, this is progressing really fast. And realistically, in 6 months, you may not be here. That's the answer I got. So now it's, do I make this decision to buy a house?
Right.
Knowing that in 6 months, if I don't address this, I'm not around.
Right.
So, I sat on that for a little bit because I wasn't sure what decision to make, and it was hard because it's, I could use the down payment that I put on the house. I could use that back for my medical bills. I didn't know how expensive everything would be. I didn't know anything, right?